Everyone loves to throw around this term pick me, but let's be real. What is wrong with getting picked? Ooh. At the end of the day, most women actually want to be chosen and picked for a commitment in marriage. So today we're going to break down the two types of pick me's and the truth behind what men actually want and why embracing reality instead of fighting it will put you in a thriving relationship. Hey everyone, my name is Jumalke, your favorite femininity coach and women's mentor. How are you all doing today? Let me get my microphone a little bit closer. So guys, let's talk about pick me's. Okay, now there's two types of pick me's. When people say that a woman is a pick me, there's two types I want to talk about. The first type is she is a woman who likes to cape for men. She's usually more insecure. She puts down other women and she hopes that her loyalty will earn her a man or will win the hearts of men, that men will like her because she is fighting men's battles for them. However, the irony is that she usually lacks femininity. Like I said, she's usually insecure. She lacks social currency with men. And I really hate to see this. And she's usually single. Why? Because she's acting more of a big sister or maybe like a mother to men fighting their battles against women rather than positioning herself as a romantic partner. And the irony is that with this type of pick-me, she still gets overlooked. She still gets cheated on. She still gets left behind by the very men that she defended, often by the women that she's throwing under the bus. That's the irony. The second type of pick-me is different. And this is a woman that people will label as a pick-me, even though she has a thriving relationship or a marriage. She's happy, she's secure, she understands what men want, or especially her man. She understands her man very well. But she's just labeled as a pick-me. Why? Because healthy relationships, they require acknowledging certain uncomfortable truths that the modern culture doesn't really like. And when a woman challenges this idea or this ideology, have you guys been seeing it's like women good, men bad? Like this type of narrative, when she challenges that and she holds women accountable or she advocates for equity, right, in a relationship, she gets shunned by the echo chamber of women and she gets slapped with the label of pick me. But the difference is she picked, right? She picked and she's living in what others often dream about. And even for me, like I know some women would probably see me like as a pick me because to be honest, like I'm not loyal to either party. Like when it comes to the gender wars, anybody can catch it. Like anyone can catch these truth hands. Like anyone can get it because I am on the side of truth, not on the side of I'm going to be on the side of women because I'm a girl's girl and because I'm a woman and all women are right. All women do the right thing. No, like I've encountered women who have terrible character and I have to rebuke women from time to time, which I don't really like doing, but I'm not going to sit here and allow women to talk about men like they trash, treat men like they trash, and they suck, right? They suck, like, and I'm going to just look at things like very objectively. No, you're not in the right. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and fully cape for men because there are things that men could do better, right? There are things that men could do better collectively. Now, I think that I'm always going to lean towards holding women more accountable because women in general are not being held accountable at all. And they have no idea. They have no understanding of reality. I'm sorry. Most women, they're just in fantasy. They're in Delulu. They have no social awareness whatsoever. Men, on the other hand, in general, not all men, but a lot of men, they have more of an understanding of, okay, this is what's happening. This is the reason why men are acting like this. And it really makes sense. Now, do men have to step up in certain areas? Absolutely. I think everyone in this current day and age, especially if you want a healthy relationship, everyone has to do some work. Everybody has deficits, right? Simply because that's just the culture that we live in. However, again, I'm like, it's really hard because women will call me a pick-me. Men will say that I'm whatever, leading women into being gold diggers. I don't even know. And it's just, at the end of the day, I think that I think that but I am just a strong believer in equity. Because let me tell you about some things that us pick-me's know that most people and most women don't know. Men and women are different. Men know this and they're trying to tell women this. Women don't really understand. But men have very specific needs that women don't have. Okay, so for example, men, generally speaking, have a higher sex drive than women. Men want sex more than women. Men seek out women for sex. If it wasn't for the sexual revolution, men would have to marry to have a constant stream and access to sex. And right now in this day and age, there's a rise of male virginity because men themselves are no longer able to compete in the modern dating market. So the men that women are complaining about, it's not all men. It's probably like 20% of all men. Like the rest of the 80% of men, they don't get no play. They're not getting any play. They're not handsome enough. They're not tall enough. They're not rich enough. So most women are counting them out because for women, they think their baseline for what they want is the average man. But the average man is not at that level. So women keep having higher and higher expectations that only a very small group of men can fulfill. And because it's such a small group of men, they get all the play. And because they get all the play and they get all the attention, they have all the options, they don't have to settle. They don't have to settle for one woman, which causes problems. Oopsie. Oopsie. Another thing about men is that they are visual creatures. Okay. For the whole sex thing, women who are pick-me's, they know this, right? For some women who get into marriage and it's really just a plot of Satan for people to be having sex outside of marriage and then they get married and they don't have any sex at all. But women understand that, right? Women understand that. They understand that men are visual creatures, which is why I tell you ladies things like, don't let yourself go. Be a trophy wife. And women like, oh, you're a pick-me. That's what he likes. He's just different than you, right? Like, why would you make yourself ugly to a man and then say, oh, it's patriarchy? He's not a woman. He doesn't find... Like for women, what we find attractive and how we rate ourselves and how we see things, men don't see it the same way, right? Men don't see it the same way. They have their own standards. Just like for a woman, it's height and 6 feet and he has to have muscles and da-da. For a lot of men, it could be something like your weight. It could be something like your hair. Do you have long hair? Do you have a pretty face? Are you put together? Are you polished? Are you refined? Even something like your waist to hip ratio. They look at these types of things and they have their own markers of visual attraction. Having these conversations with the man that you want to be with and really just keeping yourself in that preference as much as you can. Obviously, people say, well, you're going to have kids. I'm like, yeah, but you can always control how many calories enter your body. You may not be able to control something like aging and stretch marks, right? That's genetically based, but how much calories you consume is not genetically based. That's on you. Right? How you wear your hair is on you, right? How you put on makeup, if you wear a dress, are you going out with your helmet of salvation? Are you going out looking sloppy? Do you care about your presentation, how you're representing him? These things are within your control, okay? Another thing is like respect. That's a man's love language. And I know for a lot of women, they're like, respect goes both ways. The fact that you have to say that means that you don't understand men, because a lot of men disrespect men and they don't realize it. And then when someone says, hey, you talking down to a man, you sunning him, you speaking to him in a way that's harsh, that's critical, you're backleading him, these things will not go down. And a man sees these things as disrespectful. Not just the basics that we understand as respect, but men, when you are challenging or disrespecting their masculinity, they do view that as disrespect, even if it's subconsciously, and their hearts can turn away from you. So when you ignore these realities, you struggle in relationships. But when you do embrace them, you can stand out as wife material. All right. Next thing, another truth, ladies, equity produces healthy relationships. You cannot demand maximum results, which is commitment, resources, and covering for men while putting in minimal effort. Men and women both have to bring something to the table. This idea that women have, which is really entitlement, that I can do whatever I want. I don't have to, I am the table. I don't have to bring anything. I can bring my bad attitude, my promiscuity, my past promiscuity, children out of wedlock, disrespect, not wife material, not mother material. And I'm demanding that you give me everything for nothing. For What? Oh, I'll give him support. Okay, you and every other woman, right? You and every other woman. Like you, again, you can't assume that men want the same thing that women do. And if a man has higher standards of what he wants brought to the table from you as a woman, then that's what he wants. It's either you can give it to him or you can't, or you go find someone who is willing to accept you as you are. If you, and I always say this to women, like, I don't understand how women have such bad attitudes and they really just hate men, and they're constantly shaming them, criticizing them. They call them trash. This is patriarchal. Why does he want me to be a certain weight? That's patriarchal. Why do you want a man to be a certain height, right? What is that? You want something different from him. Then why do you want a man if you don't even like men? You don't like men. You don't think that they should have their own desires. You don't think that they should want anything. You think that you should get everything and give nothing in return. Why? Just be single. Once you respect and accept those differences, you will have so much peace and happiness in your relationships and marriage. But entitlement and resentment is what's going to keep you single. And here's a big reality check. Most women don't realize is that marriage as a system is patriarchal. Okay? Say patriarchy. I'm like, okay, I always tell women that you cannot try to fight a system you want to benefit from. Until men sit here and absolve all their powers to marry women, and they collectively as a group say we are okay with women pursuing us, dropping on one knee, proposing to us, dragging us to the altar, paying for us, covering us, paying for our bills, covering us, and laying their lives down for us, then marriage is patriarchal. Men control who gets commitment in marriage. That's it. You can sit here and say, but that's not fair, all that you want. I get it, but just don't get married. Because the moment that you stop expecting men to think, act, and process like women, you would just finally be happy. Men are men. Okay, and when I say men are men, I'm not talking about bad behavior. I'm not talking about they're going to cheat and they can do whatever because they're men. But I'm saying that men are how they are. They're visual creatures. They crave respect. They want to operate in their God-given masculinity without constant interference from you. They like feminine women. They like women who are fit and attractive. They like women who are friendly. That's it. And it's like the sooner you can accept these realities, the sooner you can thrive in a relationship. So yes, ladies, be a pick-me, but be the second type of pick-me. Okay? Be the type of pick-me that gets picked, right? Don't fight women just to be fighting women because you want men to like you. That's stupid. But I also want you to stop trying to fight a system that you secretly want to benefit from. Play the game to win. Be what men truly want, and you'll attract lasting commitment. And if this hit home, ladies, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with someone who needs to hear the truth. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.